Hi there, it's Jen, and it is Friday, May 9th. Welcome to my live. I'm here with you. I'm here every Friday, and I do a live from start to finish showing a Stampin' Up card, and then I do a draw for the card that I made the week before. So I'm happy to have you here. If you're here live, let me know. If you're catching the replay, let me know. And I just realized I haven't set up I thought I was ready too early, and I started putting away other things, but I forgot to set up my draw from last week. So I'm just going to do that here for a second. What I'll do is I'll put the card in that I made last week here in the picture, so you can see that while I just set up the live really quick. Not the live, the draw from last week. And of course, last week I was not live, but I had put a video on for you. So I'm not sure if you caught it. It's not on YouTube yet. I have to get it onto YouTube. I can't I had to load it as opposed to stream it, but it looks like at least 16 of you commented, so that's good. Okay, so here, let me just jump over to the live draw. So if you commented, liked, or shared the video, you're automatically in this draw, and as long as you're Canadian, you can win this card. So this is the card that I made last week, a little fussy with lots of stuff going on, but really pretty with the Set Sailing bundle. I'm loving this bundle, great for masculine cards or just something other than flowers. So I'm going to do a draw for that card. And hopefully you're seeing that screen. Let me just pop over there and check. Yes, it looks like you are. Great. Okay, so let's do the draw. And like I said, as long as you're Canadian and not a demonstrator, you can win. So Rita, I think you've won a few times recently, Rita. So thank you for continuing to watch, and obviously it's working. Hello, just found you. Okay, good. Okay, so let me just stop the share there, and I will just pop right to the craft table immediately. And I want to add this one. Here we go. Okay, good. So let me just make sure we got all the lights going okay. So before I start, let me just move that aside for Rita. And to get in on this week's draw, all you have to do is comment, like, or share, and you'll be in. Annual catalog. If you don't yet have this in your hands, and I'm your demonstrator, or you want me to be your demonstrator, just let me know, and I'm happy to get back to you. You can either send me a message here, or you can email me. I think I can put my email right in the chat here. Let me just see if I can to the comments. You can also go to my website and sign up to get my newsletter. Let me just throw that on there too, so you've got it. There you go. I'll leave that on for a few minutes, so you've got that. So you're muted now. Oh, no, it's okay now. Okay, good. Oh, good. I'm glad it's working. So there's that. That just came out this week. This started this week, but you hopefully got your catalog sooner than that. And if you didn't, if I've said I'm sending you one, I got my order in this week. So I've got getting those packaged up, and we'll get them in the mail tomorrow. The other thing that started this week was the online exclusives. So if you're part of my newsletter, you would have gotten this document that shows them all. The idea is that they are in fact online, and so there isn't a printed thing. However, I've put together a handout of what is available right now. The problem with the thing that you need to be aware of with the online exclusives is that they are while supplies last. So if there's something you like, don't wait too long to get it. And you'll see in here that there's also like the colors that match the paper are all on here. So it's quite a useful document. And there is the bundle that I used last week, the Sunrise Sailing bundle, all in there. So do check that out. Also, today I am using, let me just see if I can find the paper in here, this one right here from the Floral Impressions Suite, and I'm using the Impressions Abloom. So let me just show you those and take a sip of water at the same time. Excuse me. Hello to Paulette there too, and Nancy, how are you? So this is the paper. It's very pretty. It's one of the new Designer Series paper, and yes, I'm doing a floral this week. I'm also continuing on with discussing in colors, so I'll show you that in a second. Let me get that pencil out of the way. Okay, so this is the paper. It's very, very pretty. This is like a rainbow effect, and of course you always get two of each one. Very pretty paper. Let me just zoom up there so you can see. By zoom, I mean hold it up. This one and this one. I apologize if I sound a bit nasally. I've been fighting a cold for over a week here. Very pretty. I love the colors in this. So pretty. Oh, and this one. Oh, look at the purples and blues. Very pretty. And then, of course, on the back side, you have a different pattern. They're all more neutrals, which I actually love for card making. In fact, I'm going to use one of those today. Look at the freesia. Very nice. The patterns are just perfect for making cards. The problem is deciding which side you want to use. So good thing is I didn't love this pattern as much as the other ones. So I'm using the back side, which is Pool Party. And it's got that nice little dotted pattern in the background. So I'm just going to leave that there for a second so you can see it. And I'm going to take off that ticker now that I see it, so I don't annoy you guys. Okay, so let me just put that aside. And so hopefully you've been following along with my in color sort of reveal here. And each week I've been showing another color. So I've already covered off Cloud Cover, Secret Sea, and Strawberry Slush in previous videos. And today I want to do Timid Tiger. So let's just pull this in here so you can see it first. Do a little comparison. Now, of course, the colors change depending on what you put them up against. So putting them up against white is going to look different than black, and putting them up against each other is going to look different, but at least it gives you some idea. So this is Timid Tiger, the big long strip here, and I've compared it to, they're all current colors, the ones I've compared them to. So of course, the closest one is probably Pumpkin Pie. But you can see that it is in fact a darker orange, whereas this is more of a, I want to call it a happy orange, but a little bit more muted too. So this one's quite a bright in your face, like I think of Halloween type of thing, whereas Timid Tiger is a very more soft orange, and I'm using it today so you'll see that. Then Calypso Coral, you can see, is much more pink. Although I do consider it kind of an orangey color. And then Flirty Flamingo, you can see, is really quite pink compared to that. Peach Pie is a nice sort of offset of that color. And then Petal Pink, surprisingly, is a really nice combination with that color. In fact, I'm going to use that today. So Petal Pink is a pink, but it's got a hint of orange to it, so it kind of matches with that. So I hope that kind of helps. My plan is to put all those on the website so you'll see them once I've done this series of videos. Okay, so I'm going to put that away, and I'm going to pull out the bits and pieces I'm going to work with. So I'm using this stamp set, Impressions Abloom, and it is in that flyer that I mentioned. You can see that flyer. I'm just thinking, is it on my website? It's not on my website. It's in my newsletter, but I will put it on my website. So this is, I've got all the dies. So there's a fun set of dies here that does an oval shape, which is nice. And you can see how many dies are in here. So there's lots that cut out all these pieces. And then there's some extras. So there's the ovals, there's some stems, there's some extra leaves and extra little teeny tiny flowers. So there's lots of fun dies in here. But the stamp set alone is fun. It's got a two-step stamping, and I'm going to show you that. So basically with two-step stamping, you've got a solid piece and a more detailed piece. And so you've got that pair, that pair, that pair, that pair, and then these dots. So there's lots, and there's greetings. So it's a great little set. Impressions Abloom is the name of it. So I'm going to start here with Sure Pretty Papers, Nicole says, and Nancy says, hi from Sarnia. Hi, Nancy. Okay, so I am going to start with this. You guys tell me how the lighting looks, okay? Because this is my new setup, and I just want to make sure the lighting is okay. Looks bright to me, but, you know, hard to say. And I am getting a reflection because I'm using this glass mat. I'm back to using my glass mat because I just love what a nice solid surface it is for stamping on. So I'm going to use that. Okay, so I'm going to start here with Petal Pink and the Timid Tiger. Get the stamp set out of the way. So they just open like a compact if you've not opened the Stampin' Up! Ink pads before, and then they slide into place and snap like that. And then you put one of these little stickers that come on the back in there in the little well. So when you have them both open, you can either tell by the tag on the front or by that sticker. So I'm going to start with the more detailed part first, and you can do two-step stamping any way you want. For this one, for the colors I'm using, I found this worked better. So I'm going to just stamp this with the Timid Tiger and the detailed stamp. Let me just hold that up so you can see it. It's very pretty, just like that. And then I'm going to put the Petal Pink on here, but I am going to stamp it off once. And then I'm going to hover it. I've got to move these up here so I don't get my hand in them. I'm going to hover it over here to find the match. And it's really easy, actually, because I'm not sure how much you'll be able to see that. But there's like 3 little prongs on here and 3 little prongs here, and then a space and then 2. So it's easy to line it up. And it's super easy to see the dark lines through the block, which is why I did the dark part first. So because I stamped it off once, it's just barely there. You know what? Let me just do one so you can see what it looks like without that. So I actually need a couple. So let me just do a couple. And I'll do one without stamping off and then one with stamping off so you can see what it looks like. But I just thought it showed more detail when I stamped it off. So there's the not stamped off. And there's the stamped off. So let me hold them up so you can see. So this one, the not stamped off, you can definitely see it's filled it in more, but there's not as much differentiation between the colors, whereas this one there is. And you can still see, if you compare this one to this one, that this one is more filled in than this one because of the color. It's faint, but it's there. It's enough. So I'm going to just do this. And could you use this without the overlay, without the detail? Of course you could. You can see there all my pretty colors. They would be pretty like that, but I really love the detail. Okay, I'm going to close these up, only just so I don't put my hands through them. So they just push like that, and then you grab the part where the color is, flip it over, close it tight. Okay, so now I'm going to grab Pool Party. And, oh, I've got Summer Splash. I meant to grab Coastal Cabana. They're very similar. Which one do I want? I think I'm going to stick with the Summer Splash because I like the darker. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so Pool Party. So I'm going to start with the filled in dot first for this one. And I'm going to just stamp those. Looks fine. Okay, good. Thanks, Nicole. Okay, and then I'm going to take the Summer Splash, and I'm going to take the more texturized image. So let me just hold that up so you can see that, the difference between those two. That's where the lighting is a little bit harder to see. I need to maybe get that light closer. Okay, so you can hopefully you can see that this one is much more detailed than this one. So again, it's just adding a little something, something. And it doesn't matter if it's not precise. You can see here that I've got two that are perfect, but that's okay. Okay, then I've got a piece of that designer series paper that I showed you from the beginning. I'm going to turn it over, and I don't need this scrap one anymore. And I'm going to put this here because that's going to be a piece. This is Pool Party, and that's Pool Party with either Coastal Cabana or Summer Splash on it, so either one. And I'm going to take a reading from the stamp set. It says, I appreciate you. And I'm going to stamp that tone on tone. Yay, I did it right. If I had messed that up, I would have put a little piece of white over top of that and done like that. But it's nice stamping right on the designer series paper sometimes, eh? Especially if you've got a dark enough color. So again, I'm just going to close all these up so I don't run my hands through them. And then we're going to put this card together. Okay, so I have here a 1 3/4 inch punch. So I'm going to just punch this out. Now, when you're stamping something like this, I stamped it right in the middle. I really should have gone down a little bit because this isn't quite reaching. This one is reaching. So I can push that punch in there, the paper in through the top of the punch, and then I can center, move this around and center. I want to push the punch down so it grips the paper and then punch. And I want to keep my hand away from that locking button. The locking button is how you close it. Let me just close it like this so you can see it and push the button up. So let me just do that again. So this is how it looks and lock, and then it stands in place like that on your shelf. You can see what it is. So when you're punching out, you want to keep your hands away from that locking button. Okay, so this one should be okay to punch out too. I can get in there and get it centered. And this one, I just need to get in a little bit more to get it centered. So I'm just going to trim a little bit off here, just so I can get in a little bit further. There we go. And punch. Okay, and I won't throw that out because I can still do some stamping and stuff on there. I've got a piece of the Timid Tiger, so I'm going to fold that in half. This is 8.5 by 5.5, which is like half of a sheet of the 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and then this is 5 1/4 by 4, so that makes our nice mat. And this is 2 inches, I think. This is one of the reasons I like this mat here because it's got my ruler right there. Okay, so I'm going to add this on first. This is our Stampin' Seal. It's double-sided tape and a convenient dispenser. But you use whatever you want. And I just ripped that because this is brand new and I went too rough. And you need to go gentle on these when you first dispense them. There we go. I'm putting this on here because I want to, if I need to trim it at all, I can trim it prior to adding it to the card. So I'm going to just line this up on these grids so I can say, okay, that one there, 2 down. Because sometimes I put it on and then I realize after it's not straight. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Just going to flip it over. I don't see anything sticking out, so it's okay. Because I'm going to be much gentler this time. You just need a gentle touch with this tape, especially when it's brand new. This is going to go on like this. I'm going to check your comments there in a second. I got a little piece of tape on here, but that's okay. It'll get covered up. So, oh, and I want to say, let me just put this here, and I'm going to grab, I've punched out 3 circles with the 2-inch punch. And I want to say, when you're looking at colors, you know, orange colors, Timid Tiger is an orange, are tricky sometimes to know what to pair with them. So I just grabbed the Stampin' Up! Color Coach and had a look at this. And so basically one of the things is a complementary color, so an orange and a blue. So that's how I picked what I was going to do. So they actually have pumpkin pie paired with all these colors. So if I go with a little bit of a lighter color, we're into this pool party in Coastal Cabana, which is how I picked those colors. Okay, so I'm going to just add these circles to these other circles. They're all punched out. And if you are a newsletter subscriber with me, and again, I put that on at the beginning. Here, I'll just throw it on again for a second. Cal says, great color combination. Thank you. I like it. It's bright and it's nice and summery and fresh. So as a newsletter subscriber, what will happen is you will get a document called My Favorite Top 5 Card Designs when you first sign up. And this design right here is on there, not with circles, but with squares. So the other thing I'm doing here is I'm going to turn this so it's not exactly the same position as that other flower, just so it looks a little bit different. I'm just lining up the edges here and here. And then this last one, it's a little bit bigger, so it's going to overlap. So I'm going to add dimensionals to this one. And put this here. And I'm putting these kind of in the middle, not too close to the edge, because it's going to overlap a little bit there. And pulled off the backs. These are just foam dimensionals that just give you a nice little lift, like something 3D. And again, I'm going to try and turn this opening to a different position. So it's going to overlap a little bit. Now I'm going to do a couple more things here. So have a look so far. I have gone ahead and stamped an extra one and die cut it out because we have matching dies. Oh, and I realized I didn't do the center on that one. Interesting. Okay, so let's do the center on that one quickly. You can actually die cut the center too. In fact, one of the cards I want to show you in the next little while is a card using this stamp set that's all die cuts, and it's very pretty. So it'll be one of the ones I show you in coming months. So I'm just stamping that middle again. Ta-da! And we'll just leave those open for a second out of my way. So I'm going to put on dimensionals on the back of this. I'm going to check your comments here so I don't miss anything. Okay. So here we go. So I'm going to stick this right on top. And it'll be a little harder to see this on the camera, but just get that going the right way. I always, for this flower, I always look for the 3. So there's the 3, so that works. Sorry, there's the 3. And I can line up. So again, you don't just see that as much on camera, but in person, you would see the 3D element to that. And so it just makes it really cool because this whole thing now is popped up and pretty. So of course, the last thing we want to add to this is some bling. So I've got here my Take a Pick tool, and these are some same gems that I used last week. These are the In Color gems. Anybody who's part of my In Color club will be getting these. Of course, you can buy them. They're 2025 to 2027 In Color Flat Pearls is what they're called. And they have all the 5 new In Colors. So I'm going to grab the Timid Tiger here and add those in. We'll do a large and a medium and then a little small one too. like this. They're adhesive, obviously on the back, so they're clicking there. Oh, I've got a, oh, look at, I had I had a little extra fingerprint going on there, so I may have to add a few more smudges in there to make it all match. I won't make this be the one that I give away to you guys. I'll give away my sample until I fix this. And I am going to add one more thing, that is Winkostella. I always love adding Winkostella. It's a glitter pen. And it just adds some glitter. Plus these are kind of shiny, so it kind of picks that up. So let me pull in my other one to show you. You may not be able to see the glitter on here. Sometimes the camera will catch it. But it's a beautiful, simple card. I would also put a piece of white on the inside, so it's easy to write. So because last week was a little more complicated, the card. This one's nice and simple. I love this design of 3 layouts. Meant to point out too when I did it that I did the 2 outer ones first and then centered the inner one. That's always the easier way to do that. So tell me what you think, minus my little fingerprint smudges. You won't do that on yours. Hello, Philippa. Love your idea. And Philippa says, lovely card. Thank you, Nancy. Great, guys. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. It was short and sweet today. I am heading to, well, the pool first to do some more rehab exercises for my knee. And then we have family in town for the weekend. So we'll be doing all this stuff for that. So let me know what you guys are doing in the comments. Okay, so I'm going to be back again next week, and I hope you can join me. I'll do the draw, so be sure to comment, like, and share, and I will do the draw for this card, the unblemished one, okay? So have a great weekend, you guys. And so seeing as it's just on this piece, really, I could actually just take that one white off and just redo that. That's probably what I'll do. And then I'll just live with that. Or I'll put some more gems right on that one. See, so there's always a fix. Paulette says, a fun, cheerful card. Happy Mom's Day. Oh, yes, and it is Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day to anyone who's a mother of a child or a pet or whatever. Yes, that's partly why we're celebrating this weekend with family coming in to celebrate my mother-in-law. Okay, take care, guys. Have a nice weekend. Happy Mother's Day. Take care. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.